One fish, two fish, red fish. That's what we're doing today. We're cooking red fish. Red fish? Why, it looks a lot like red snapper, doesn't it? You know why? Because they're cousins. This beautiful, big-eyed redfish, big clear-eyed redfish, fresh, clear-eyed, firm redfish is from the pristine waters off the coast of Gloucester, and it's important to the Gloucester fishing industry and to your health and to our economy and to the health and prosperity of our communities. We get our heads around local, regional, seasonal food when it comes to farming out of the dirt. Well, let's think about it from another perspective. Let's look at the ocean. Let's think about seasonal, local, regional fish. That's what we're cooking today, this beautiful red fish. This is a particularly delicious dish to make in the summer because we're going to be using corn, our friend corn, peppers, tomatoes, a little bit of garlic, because everything's better with a little bit of garlic, and red onion, and then lots of fresh herbs, cilantro, basil, and some parsley. It's a very simple dish. We're going to start everything. It's a one-dish deal. We're going to saute the vegetables, and then we're going to put the fish on top of the vegetables as they cook, put a lid on it, let it cook, take the fish out, and then finish our sauce. Are you with me? So I'm going to turn on this large saute pan. I'm going to get a medium-high heat. You always want to heat up your pan first and then add your oil or your butter to it. Today we're going to be using extra virgin olive oil, so that's heating up. I mentioned that we're going to be working with onions. We've got these beautiful red onions. If you don't have red onions, you could use shallots, yellow onions, white onions, scallions. It'll all work as long as you have enough of them. So I'm going to peel off just that outside part that's got a few dings in it, into the vegetable bowl. So I want to chop up these onions, not minced, but into small pieces. So the best way to do that is I start with one hand flat on top of the onion. I'm going to make horizontal slices across the onion. You always want to work with a very sharp knife. A dull knife is the most dangerous piece of equipment in your kitchen. A sharp knife, it's going to just slice through things very nicely. A dull knife, you have to put more pressure into it and it won't grab the food as easily. And I don't just push the knife through, I make a back and forth motion, because if I just push the knife through, it's going to fly out the other side, and we don't want that either. So pushing through. So I went about 3/4 of the way through horizontally. Now I'm going to go this way, vertically, making thin slices using the tip of my knife. If I use the middle of my knife, I'm going to cut all the way through the onion, and that's not what I want to do. You can actually even follow sometimes the lines on the onion as a guide. And now I go vertically. And again, make sure some of it lands on the floor. There we go. And I have some pre-chopped already. So you use about one whole medium onion. The olive oil goes into the pan that is now heated. Just a swirl. Let that heat up. And then in go the onions. Oh, that's a good noise. We know it's working. In go those onions as well. Give that a shake so that they're in a nice, even layer. And once they start cooking, you don't have to constantly stir them, because if you're constantly stirring them, then they're not in contact with the heat. Stir them every once in a while. And this doesn't have to be super high. Perfect. Next, I'm going to add corn. So I've got these beautiful ears of corn. And a great way to get the kernels off the ear of corn, I have a large bowl, and then I turned over a second bowl, inverted it so the flat part of the bowl is facing up, and I use it as a stand for the corn. With one hand I hold the corn, and with the other I just go straight down. That way you don't have the problem of the corn kernels being all over your kitchen counter and spending half the day searching for them. Off that goes. And we'll do one more. Total of 3 ears. If you don't have corn, that's okay. This recipe still tastes really, really good. You could put carrots in here, celery, red, yellow, green peppers, whatever you like. Your redfish, your way. There you go. Take that bowl out, get the corn off of it. And then in these go. It took you some time to shuck this corn, get the kernels off, so get every single last bit. Give that a stir, a shake, get off the knife. Then I want to put some tomatoes in there. These are just cherry tomatoes, but if you had large slicing tomatoes, you could mince them up, that would be fine. But these, I'm just going to cut them in half and toss them in. They're different shapes and sizes, that's okay. If you don't like tomatoes, don't use tomatoes. These tomatoes are beautiful. And that's looking pretty good. I'll put one more red one in for color. Again, give the pan a shake. Oh, it smells so good. I'm going to add a little bit of heat to this. You could add a mild jalapeno, or you could put a habanero in, whatever you like. This is a spicy guy. Make sure that when you work with peppers, you wash your hands thoroughly afterwards. Don't touch your eyes or any other part of your body before you've washed your hands. I'll clip off both ends of it. And if you don't want spice in this, you could just use red, green, or yellow bell pepper, but this is a spicy pepper. It's all up to you. Slice it down the middle, like so, and then give it a fine mince. So I'll just give that a stir and make sure all the ingredients are evenly distributed. Give it a shake so that everything is nice and flat in the pan. And now I'm going to add the fish. Beautiful, whole red fish. They have been gutted and gilled. Okay, beautiful, in they go, just right on top. Like so. To that, I'm going to add white wine. If you don't like to cook with wine, you could use water, fish stock, chicken stock, that would all be fine. In that goes. And it's going to kind of poach in there. If you have a lid that fits on top of your pan, that's great. Or you could sort of jerry-rig it with this aluminum foil. Just make sure you have a good, tight seal on it. And then we're going to let it cook. So our redfish is simmering away, just really a gentle simmer, not a rolling boil, otherwise the fish will really toughen up and not be as pleasant as if we keep it at just a gentle simmering poach. Redfish, by the way, we're poaching it right now, fantastic grilled and pan roasted and baked in the oven. Very, very versatile fish. So while that's cooking away, we're going to finish our sauce with garlic, our good friend garlic. And I mentioned cilantro, basil, read all that basil, some basil, not all the basil in the pot, and some parsley. Beautiful herbs. When you're working with fresh herbs, you want to pinch off all the leaves and get them into a pile. Some of the stems are okay, but not all the stems. The stems can be a little bit tough and fibrous. Roll that all into a ball like so. As tight as you can. Gather it all together. And then run your knife through it. All the herbs together. And then turn it this way. They don't have to be exactly the same size. It can be a little rustic, that's fine. Thomas Keller's not coming for dinner. It's just us. great. And then for the garlic, what I like to do is either use a microplane and actually grate the garlic, or shimmy your cutting board down so that it's flush with the counter, and get the garlic under there towards the edge, and then with the flat part of your knife, I have it towards the edge of the counter so that I'm going to smash it, and this way my knuckles will clear the board. If I try and do that way up front, I smash it and my fingers are in the way. So I bring it way down here and smash it. That releases all that beautiful garlic aroma. That's why we came to the party, right? For the garlic, the flavor, that heat, that piquant, lovely garlickiness. So it's released all those essential oils, and it's already halfway chopped for you if you smash it like that. And I'm just going to run my knife through it one more time, so you don't get a big chunk of garlic in your mouth, just a little kiss of garlic. Oh, it sure smells terrific in here. Fresh herbs, the corn, the garlic. All right, we're gonna check on our fish. Now, when you take a lid off or the aluminum foil off, you always wanna open it away from you. So I'm gonna start right up here at the top, not at the bottom. If I start at the bottom and go this way, that steam could burn my arm. So I'm gonna start at the top and open it this way, see? Beautiful. Oh, look at that fish. Can you see that? Perfectly cooked. The yellow of the corn and the tomatoes and the red, absolutely stunning. We eat with our eyes first. So first, this is a two-part process. Get under here. Have myself a little redfish facial while I'm at it. Onto our serving platter. Oh, this is beautiful. This is a great presentation as well. Okay, so we had it on a gentle simmer. Now I want to crank up the heat because all that liquid that's in there, it's delicious. It's a dry white wine, but we don't want to have a hot wine sauce. That's not going to taste good. So I'm going to crank up the heat and reduce those liquids down. I can add the garlic now. The garlic I didn't put in at the beginning because I didn't want the garlic to burn or to lose its flavor. I wanted to just now release all of its garlickiness. Stir that around. The tomatoes have wrinkled up and wilted just a little bit. The onion is fully cooked. Give that a stir. I'm also going to put some salt and pepper in here because we haven't seasoned it yet. I like to cook with kosher or sea salt and freshly ground black pepper. A few cranks of that. Please use freshly ground black pepper. If you buy the pre-ground, you're getting the heat from the pepper, but you're not getting the flavor of the pepper. All those essential oils dissipate. Freshly ground black pepper makes all the difference in the world. Oh, that's good. Give that a stir. And then I'm just going to cook to let it reduce. And I'm going to keep my eye on it. Once the bubbles start getting bigger and it starts talking to me, I know that the liquid has reduced. And when I say talking to me, that's the sound of the bubbles breaking on the pan. Beautiful. Okay, as you can see, it's the bubbles are getting bigger, most of the liquid has reduced, and it's really making some noise. It's talking to us. So the sauce is just about done. I'm going to add half of the herbs in there. Stir them in. Oh, look how beautiful that is. The yellow, the green, the red. I love this. Wonderful. And then I'm going to spoon this directly over the fish, like so. So you can present the fish whole, as I showed you, with the beautiful sauce on top of it, or you want to make an individual plate, just pull these fins off. Come right off once the fish is cooked. Super easy. And then I'll come in with my knife just on the side, actually on the top along that bone. And you can just peel it back, kind of scrape it off with your knife, or you could get in with a spoon and scrape it off. So, look at that beautiful fish. this piece and that lovely sauce. This time I'm going to put the sauce on the side. And we still have some of those chopped herbs. Just all around the edges. There you have it. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish! GloucesterFresh.com for the recipe.